Have you ever been offered a smart hands job or a network rack and stack or a network install job, but it listed things like Putty and console cables, and you weren't really sure exactly what all that meant, so you weren't confident in taking that service call? Network rack and stack jobs or smart hands jobs are some of my favorite jobs. They are not very labor intensive. They're almost always in air conditioning, which is a plus. And tech support generally does all of the actually hard work. I'm going to show you how to use your laptop to console into equipment, how to use Putty, how to use different types of console cables, and get you to a point where you'll feel comfortable taking these service calls. This video was sponsored by CloudWork Pro, your source for IT contracting services. If you'd like to apply to be a part of CloudWork Pro's marketplace, you can visit them at cloudworkpro.com or click the link in the description. Let's get into it. The most universal console type you're going to run into is Cisco. This is a Cisco console cable. This cable goes from serial to what looks like an RJ45, but it is not. These also come in a style to where there is a USB connector to the RJ45 plug. For me personally, I have a need to console into multiple pieces of equipment, so the USB style doesn't work for me. Laptops in today's world don't have a serial port. There will always have to be some sort of adapter. The basic idea is that you have a USB to serial adapter. They come with a cable, or you can get just a solid piece like this. I like the smaller style. Then you'll connect your Cisco console cable, serial, and then this will go into the console port of the device. When it comes to Cisco equipment, you are always looking for the powder blue port on the device, and it is usually labeled and is the same color as the Cisco console cable, obviously to differentiate that. You'll plug your cable into this port, and then you will plug this end into your laptop. All right, so you're going to take your USB to serial, you're going to plug that into your laptop. For all this to work, you have to have Putty installed on your laptop. You have to understand how it assigns a COM port in Device Manager. Putty is a free software download, and I'll put a link in the description that links you to that download. Once you've installed it, you can create a shortcut. It'll just say Putty. The first thing we need to do is figure out what COM port has been assigned to this device. So we're going to go to Device Manager. There's a variety of ways to get there, but the easiest way is to hit your Windows key and X, which will pop up kind of the deeper menu. And you can just hit the letter M or find Device Manager on the list. So I'm just going to hit M. That's going to load Device Manager. Once Device Manager loads, you're going to see a line that says ports. We're going to select on that, and it's going to expand out, and it's going to show us this device. When I look at this line, it has assigned COM port 3 to this device. Now I know that I can go into Putty, and I can tell Putty that this is on COM port 3. I'm going to bring up Putty. Now in Putty, this is a serial device. Putty has different options for how you console into a piece of equipment. You're going to select serial from this menu right here, and by default it's going to select COM1. All you need to do is click in the top line where it says COM1, erase the 1, change it to 3 because we saw in Device Manager it was COM port 3. Then you'll be able to hit open at the bottom. Once you do that, it's just going to open a blank Putty screen. If the device is already on, you'll be able to hit the enter key twice and it'll bring up a prompt. Usually it's a username and a password. This Cisco device is powered off. One interesting thing is if the device is actually turned off and you have Putty up and running, this will actually show the boot up process just like you would on a computer when you see the BIOS screen come up. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to go ahead and power on this router and you'll be able to watch the boot up screen as it goes. While we're waiting for this to boot, I wanted to introduce you to our video sponsor, CloudWork Pro. They are an on-demand IT marketplace that brings together national companies that need service work done with technicians all around the country that are looking for service work. CloudWork Pro stands apart from other online marketplaces in a few key ways. They vet every technician that applies to be a part of their marketplace. They are looking for established and experienced technicians. Technicians that are on CloudWork Pro's marketplace on average have 14 years of technical experience. So you know you're going to be working alongside other IT service professionals. And of course the clients enjoy working with a network of professional and dependable IT service techs. And CloudWork Pro makes sure that their clients are also professional. The clients that are on the CloudWork Pro marketplace have an average approval rating of 99.5% from the technicians. So you know that you're going to be in a marketplace where your talents and experience are respected and rewarded. If you like how that sounds, apply at cloudworkpro.com, or I've included a link in the description that will take you directly to their application process, and it will let them know that you were referred by Field Tech Academy. If you want to learn a little bit more about CloudWork Pro before you apply, I have a playlist on my YouTube channel that is called Make Money with CloudWork Pro. In that playlist, I go into different aspects of the platform and my experience with them. Now, once the router is fully booted up, or if it's booted up when you start the process, you'll load up Putty, you'll make sure that you're selected on the window, and you'll hit the enter key twice. Once you hit enter twice, it will go through any kind of like little prompts and licensing warnings, things like that, and then it'll bring you to a username and a password prompt. That's where you're going to bring in your remote tech support. To do these jobs, you're going to have a mobile hotspot so you can get the laptop onto the internet and be able to connect to a remote session to share your screen with your tech support rep. Once they are connected, then they will go through the process of doing all the configuration and the login. Once your remote tech support has connected to the equipment, you'll be able to just sit back and observe and listen in on the call and be ready to act when they ask you to make changes such as a cable move and things like that. On these marketplaces, there are a variety of jobs that are in addition to Cisco. You may end up dealing with Adtran brand equipment, some audio video equipment, and just a variety of different equipment that may use the Cisco console cable, or they may use their own style cable. For example, an Adtran piece of equipment is going to use a cable that is specific to Adtran. But again, you'll see that it is a serial connection on one end, RJ45 plug on the other. That's why I like to carry around a Cisco cable like this instead of the USB style, because having the USB doesn't save me any equipment. I still have to have the USB to serial adapter. So an Adtran will have a console port on it, and you'll use the serial side to connect into the USB to serial just like you would on a Cisco. There are some other types of equipment that may just require a standard serial cable connection, and it'll be serial on the device as well as serial on your laptop. That's where having just regular serial cables will come into play. I have found that there are times that you will need a straight through serial cable as well as what they call a null modem or crossover serial cable. If I'm doing a job where I see the device has serial on it, then typically I will start out with this straight through cable. Then I'll bring up Putty. I'll do the enter key a couple of times. If the device doesn't respond at all in Putty, and I know I've got all my settings correct, then I'll switch over to the null modem and test it before I say that there's a problem. I don't know of any way that really identifies what type of cable you're going to use for a device. I just typically start out with the straight through serial cable, and if it doesn't communicate, then I try the null modem crossover cable. To make sure that you have all the variables covered, you want to make sure that you have your serial cable and you have gender changers. This is a female to female, this is a male to male. By having both of these and your serial cable, you should be able to connect to any kind of serial device. These cables don't really have any kind of distinctive markings to tell you which one is straight through and which one is crossover null modem. So I always make sure I keep the original bag that says straight through or null modem crossover. Another item that you want to make sure that you have when you're doing audio video service calls is literally a printer cable. Regular USB to like the little house looking printer cable side. On a lot of audio video equipment, this printer style is what actually is the console port on that device. And then of course you'll use a standard USB on your laptop. The biggest thing I see this with is Crestron equipment. You know, these network rack and stack and smart hands jobs are really not that difficult if you have a technical background. So I hope what I've shared today in this video really helps you feel comfortable in taking those types of jobs. And this is the type of job that you would see on a platform like CloudWork Pro. And they sponsored this video to try to help make sure that you as a technician are fully equipped and ready to do those types of jobs. If you'd like to apply to be a part of CloudWork Pro's marketplace, you can visit them at cloudworkpro.com or click the link in the description. If you got value out of this video today, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to check out my website at fieldtechacademy.com. I have a lot of digital downloads that are designed to help you with some of the online marketplaces, as well as a direct client package that will provide you with even more direct contract clients. As always, let's get you out in the field making money. I'll see you in the next video.